Protecting kids. SB 1029 by Bob Hall, detransitioner protections, passed the Senate on April 24th. Never got a hearing in the Texas House. 1601, Brian Hughes, defunding drag queen story hour. It would cut state funds for libraries that were used for drag queen story hour that didn't fit under the other drag show ban. Passed in early April in the Senate, never got a hearing in the House. Charles Perry, birth certificate sex protection. Required a child's sex to be listed on the birth certificate and banned it from being changed. Passed the Senate in March, never received a hearing in the Texas House. 1446 by Brian Hughes. It was a ban on ESG for state pensions. This is what Florida did, where Ron DeSantis got up and declared victory over ESGs. It would have prevented taxpayer-funded pensions from being used to advance leftist agenda that's contained in ESG. Passed the Senate April 20th, calendars killed in the House. SJR 70, Brian Hughes, parental rights constitutional amendment. Constitutionally established parental rights protections. This is a bill that only 3 Democrats opposed in the Senate. It passed nearly unanimously, bipartisan legislation, passed the bill in mid-April, died in the House, never even got a hearing. Donna Campbell, SB 163, parental consent for sex ed. This is something that was in existing law and sunsetted. You had to have parental consent and they had to notify parents of their right to opt out of sex education. Sunset. This was just continuing it. Passed in the Senate April 20th. Calendars Committee killed it. Public and higher education. School choice. SB 8. Senate passed a school choice plan that would have benefited millions of Texas students. Never made it out of Public Ed Committee in the House. SB 8 and HB 890. This is the classroom grooming ban, the Florida bill that was wrongly termed by opponents as the Don't Say Gay bill. Would have banned teachers from grooming children in the classroom. The Texas House killed it. 2 bills. 10 Commandments would have required Phil King would have required public schools to display 10 Commandments in every classroom. Passed the Senate in late April. Passed the Senate in late April. House killed it. SB 16, critical race theory ban at universities. We actually did a lot of media on this, and legislation would have stopped it in universities where it's already stopped in schools. Passed Texas Senate in mid-April, never got a hearing. Restricting gender ideology in public schools would have made it harder for public schools to teach anything regarding sex with children outside of parent-approved sex education classes. Passed the Senate May 2nd, never got a hearing in the House. On vaccine choice, that Becky Green worked so hard on. SB 177, Mays Middleton and Brian Harrison, is the COVID vaccine mandate ban. Would have ended COVID vaccine mandates in Texas. Right now, you could still be fired for not receiving the vaccine. Calendars Committee killed it in the House. SB 2086, DNA ownership. Do you own your own DA? The Senate said yes, passed it. The Business and Industry Committee, a Democrat chair, killed it. Immigration, this is the one bill, did not pass the Senate that's on the list. HB 20 by Matt Schaefer creates a border protection unit, a force intended to return illegal aliens to Mexico. Would have challenged unconstitutional court rulings that left our border wide open. Speaker Phelan worked with Democrats to kill the bill with a point of order. Lowest court course, voter invasion declaration. Declared an invasion at the southern border and urged the governor to take all action necessary to stop the flooding of illegals. Never received a hearing. Terry Leo Wilson, in-state tuition ban on illegal aliens, ending this taxpayer subsidy. Never received a hearing in the House. SB 2424, border crossing crime, would have made it illegal to cross the southern border of Texas and made it a state crime. Senate passed it, killed the bill by the Speaker with a point of order. There were numerous election integrity bills that were not passed, like early voting tapes being printed, banning ranked choice voting, banning voting machines from China and North Korea, election integrity, attorney general empowerment, requiring proof of citizenship to vote, cleaning inactive voters from the rolls, voter registrar accountability, voter irregularity audits, and election supply mandates. Those bills passed the House, were killed mostly in elections. Passed the Senate, killed in the Elections Committee or Calendars Committee. We had a China land ban that passed the Senate. It was killed in House Committee. Taxpayer funding lobbying ban that Mays Middleton passed out of the Senate. Then, after killing all of this legislation, they impeached a Republican Attorney General in a move criticized by Republicans from Donald Trump to Ted Cruz. It did so without considering any direct evidence, without allowing legislators to interview or cross-examine witnesses, without placing witnesses under oath, without allowing members to talk to investigators, without making witness transcripts available to legislators, without subpoenaing witnesses with direct knowledge of allegations, and without allowing the Attorney General to present evidence or argument. The result of this indefensible process was an impeachment in any other state